Hi there, my name is Katie Johnson. I just wanted to jump on here really quick and put a face and a voice to a name and tell you thank you so much for being willing to try one of my Jamberry nail wraps. So I hope you're gonna love it as much as I do. They make me happy and smile when I get to have fun, pretty nails. So I hope you'll have the same experience. Anyhow, I also wanted to take a minute and show you how I apply them. There's lots of different ways that you can do this, but I found one that I feel like is probably the best one that I've had that the most people have success with. So I'm going to share that with you really quick. So you've requested a sample, so you're going to be getting, if you haven't already, going to be getting a fun little sample pack in the mail. And one of the things that you will get in there is the actual sample pack. And I call this the 7-day sample challenge because what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through on here how to put one nail wrap. So the wrap that you got is going to be right here. Some of you told me what your favorite color is, and I've tried to find one of those for you. But anyhow, this one wrap is going to do 2 nails, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to do one on the right, one on the left. So like on this hand, I have a what I call an accent nail. And then what I'm challenging you to do is to polish or whatever else you want to do on the rest of them, and then kind of compare for 7 days, for a week, and see how they wear for you. My hope and what I've had experience with is that they wear really well, and I'm thinking you might be surprised on how well they wear for a whole week. So let me go really quick. So that's what the whole challenge is about, but let me go real quick through how I like to apply them and what tools you're going to get in here to help you do that. So the first part of any good application, whether you're putting on nail wraps, polish, gel, whatever, is that kind of pre-manicure. And why that's so important is whatever product you're going to use when it comes to nails, none of them stick well to skin cells, because skin cells have oils on them, okay? So the place that we get into trouble with that is with our cuticles. If you haven't had a manicure in a while, take a look at your nails, and sometimes, you know, our cuticles start here, but sometimes that cuticle will actually grow up over your skin or over your nail, and sometimes it's even hard to know that it's there, but once you start kind of scraping at it, you'll see like, oh gosh, there is some lifting up there. So the first tool that I've included is, this is called an orange stick, okay, and it's got kind of 2 pointy sides on it, and you can use this to just start up a little bit high and just really start scraping down towards the cuticle. Now, I like to do my nails, so I've had manicure lately, so I don't have cuticle way up here. But that's what you're going to want to spend a nice amount of time, is making sure that your cuticles are pushed way back. And I challenge you to just start up here and see if you don't get some that start lifting up. If not, then also just make sure that your cuticle down here is pushed back. Okay, because what we don't want is we don't want our nail wrap to touch any of that skin or cuticle, or it's just not, you're not going to get the good wear out of it. So that's number 1. Number 2, after you've done that and you might have some of that kind of cuticle all over the place, then what I want you to do is wash your hands really well with something that's going to take all those oils off. So I personally just like to use Dawn, like the blue dish soap, because it's made to take oils off, right? Like if you're washing dishes. If you're going to use a hand soap, just make sure it's not one that has moisturizers in it, which sometimes, like most hand wash stuff does. So just take a peek at that. If it does and you don't have something, then I also included an alcohol wipe. This is really just rubbing alcohol wipe. And you can use this also, one second here. So after you've given yourself a manicure and washed your hands, then you can take this, and this will take all the oils off your fingernails as well. So I would just take this really good and wipe it down. Okay, so then once you get that done, and I tell people too that pre-manicure should take equally long as it takes you to put whatever you're going to put on your nails, okay? That prep is super important. Okay, but then we're going to get to the fun part, which is our nail wrap. Oops, let me look here. Okay, so whatever one you got in the mail, your wrap, like I told you, you're going to find it up here. You're going to take that off, and I'm just going to take a different one off of here. And what you're going to do is you're going to line that up and figure out which one of your fingernails that sample is going to fit with, okay? Okay, so I've got mine here. So this is the one that I'm going to use. And I already know that this one fits my ring finger here, but what you're going to do, depending on which sample I sent to you, you're going to take it and you're going to hold it over your fingernails and figure out which nail it's going to be the best fit with, okay? And again, it's better to be a little bit on the small side. If you can see a little bit of your nail around the edge, you're going to get a longer and better wear out of the wrap. So next step is you're going to take some scissors and you're going to cut this guy right in half, because it's going to be enough to do 2 nails, okay? Okay, so here is this half. And then the next step is I'm going to take this right off of here, and I'm going to ask that you try to only touch the straight edge, the edge that you just touched. Again, because our skin and our skin has oils on it, and if we're touching all over the back of this sticker, it's not going to adhere as well. So I try to only touch the straight edge, because that's going to end up getting cut off anyways as we trim it to our nail. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to start on the cuticle side right here, and we're just going to barely touch it on there, and try your best to get it lined up. It does not have to be perfect. Once you get it on there, I'll show you. Okay, so it's really not adhered on there much at all. I basically just put it here and put a little bit of pressure there so that it's not going to go falling off, okay? Once I get it there, this is where I'm going to use my heat source. So for me, I have the Jamberry mini heater. I love it because it's quiet, so I can use it while my kids are sleeping, and it doesn't blow that hard, so it doesn't blow papers all over the place. But if you don't have one of these, that's totally fine, and you can just use like a blow dryer. You just need some sort of heat source to use to get the vinyl that our wraps are made out of to be pliable, okay? So again, once I've just barely touched it on there, and I'm going to hold it in front of this heat source, sorry, let's do it this way so you can see, and just long enough until you start to see it kind of get pliable or start to bend a little bit, which I don't know if you can tell from the video very well. Whoops. So there we go, it's starting to get just a little bit bendy. It doesn't take long, not very long at all, especially if you're using a blow dryer. So once it's just got a little bit of heat and it's a little bit pliable, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the cuticle side, and I'm just going to push straight up the middle, okay? So I'm not doing anything to either of the sides yet. I'm just going to go from the cuticle straight up the middle, and the reason being is our nails are usually kind of curvy or domed, so we don't want to just go everywhere. We're going to get that middle, that flat part, to really sit nice and still first, okay? Then I'm going to go back to my heater. I'm just going to pick one side or the other. I'm going to warm it up just enough to get it pliable again. Oh, there it goes. It's already kind of rounding around with my nail. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the middle where I already pressed, and then kind of push over to the side that I just warmed up. Okay, right towards the edge of the nail. And again, this is a perfect fit, so it's not touching the skin. If it is just a little bit like around your cuticle edge there, I also included one of these. This is the Jamberry rubber cuticle pusher. Okay, and what you can do is you can use this and just kind of push down around in that edge and make sure it gets in there really good, okay? So lastly, I haven't done this side yet, so I'm going to get this side warm, just enough to make it pliable again, because we want it to shape to the form of we all have unique nails, right? We want it to shape to our nail, so once it's warm, it becomes pliable. So again, I'm going to start in the middle and just press right over towards the edge of my nail. So from the middle over, okay? Making sure it's there. A lot of people like to use this to really get some good pressure on there, because what is going to make sure that your Jamberry nail wraps stay on really well is 2 things: heat to activate that adhesive, and then pressure. I usually end up just using my other finger and pushing on there really good, but this does work, so that's why I included one for you as well, to get down in those crevices, okay, and just to apply more pressure on there. So you can use this as well, okay? So like I said, I always start at the cuticle and go straight towards the tip, reheat, and then do each side kind of out towards the edges, okay? The next step and again, I wrote all this out in the instructions for you, but if you're like me, I'm a visual person, like, I just want people to show me. So then I'm gonna take my scissors again, and I'm just gonna trim it. You don't need to be real careful, but just to get the majority of that excess off. And then the last part is where people are usually like, whoa, that works so easy. This is the most important tool that I included for you, and this is a really gritty, if you've felt it yet, I don't know, nail file. I think it's an 80 grit, 80 or 100. But this is really important because it needs to be gritty enough to go through the vinyl of our wrap. It's really important that you don't go back and forth like we typically do when we're filing our nails. We're going to go from top to bottom from straight down, 90-degree angle, okay? Not up and down, but just from the top going down. Reason being is if we're going back and forth, we're gonna pull that wrap away from the nail. If we wanna go down, which is gonna pull it towards our nail. We don't wanna go back up because it's gonna pull it right away from the nail again, okay? So I'm gonna show you. And you'll feel a little bit clumsy the first few times you do this, and then you just get used to it and you're like, ah, it's not that big a deal. But just know that it's normal to feel kind of clumsy your first few times. So anyhow, we're gonna go just straight down at a 90-degree angle, okay? So not up and down. You'll probably do it once or twice. It's okay. It's not that big a deal. But we're just going to go straight down right up against your natural nail. It won't ruin your nail, I promise. Okay. And this is a little bit shorter nail that I have on this finger. I actually just broke it when I was gardening. And so even though I'm kind of pressing up against my skin, it doesn't hurt. Eventually you're going to get to where it's not quite ready yet, okay? It's just going to fall off. Or if you're like me and have a shorter fingernail like this, it's actually pressing up, it's sitting there on my skin, but I can see that it's broken away from the nail. So if you just find the edge of it here and kind of pull, it's still a little bit stuck there. Second, let me come a little bit closer here where I can see what I'm doing. Just go straight down, and eventually it's going to be completely free of the fingernail, okay? So let me show you. There we go. So then it takes on the shape of your natural nail. Isn't that a fun one? I like that. Okay, and it should be nice and soft. If it's not nice and soft, if it's like getting caught on anything at all, just take your file and really go straight down again. Now, if you have super short nails, like we've got some nail biters out there, and they think they can't use these because they're thinking, I can't file my fingernail, there's not enough there. You can use clippers. You can use them to clip the ends of the wrap and your fingernail. My suggestion then would be to take some more heat after you've clipped and really press down and get it on there good again, okay? So that's how we put on a Jamboree nail wrap. How fun is that? So after you put your sample on, then just go ahead and paint your other ones and wear them for a week. And I cannot wait to hear from you what you think after a week of wearing them. The last thing, and sorry, this is taking longer than I had intended, but the last thing that I wanted to tell you is after your week or however long you're ready to take it off, how do you take them off? This is super important, so I did put in a little flyer about this as well. But this adhesive is made to really stay, so we don't want to ever take it and just rip it off or pull it off. Because you can damage your nail, and I don't want you damaging your nails, okay? So these, these have been on, I think, for 10 days now. And I'm getting ready to take them off and do a whole new manicure anyhow, so I'm going to show you really quick. You can use something that you have at home. Most of us have nail polish remover at home. If it has acetone in it, it's going to break it down quite quickly, okay? I don't like using acetone because it dries my nails out. So of course I have the Jamboree brand. This is acetone free, but it works. It's magical. It like breaks it down like crazy fast. But you can use polish remover that does have acetone in it. Some people have good luck with warmed up coconut oil or vegetable oil. Anything that's going to break down that adhesive. Just promise me. If you're like, what can I use? Let me know. Send me a message and we'll figure something out together, okay? Anyhow, when you're ready to take it off, what you're going to do, I'm going to do this one actually, is you're going to take either your orange stick, or sometimes I'll just use another fingernail and just get one of the edges just barely lifted up, okay? So just enough to where you can get it going. Yep, you can see that. So there's just enough right there that I've got it going. Then what I do is I use my orange stick and I just dip it into my polish remover. Okay, so there's just enough of it on there that I can start dribbling it under here. And that is what will break down that adhesive. Okay, don't press it too fastly or too quickly. If it starts feeling like it's harder, then get some more of your remover on your orange stick, okay? And then eventually it will feel like it literally will just kind of slide right off of your fingernail. Again, these have been on for like 10 days, so they're stuck on there really good, but just bear with me here. Because I don't want you guys, I want you to love these and have as much fun with them as I do, and that won't happen if you have damage on your nails. So just put a little bit more of that under there, and you just kind of work it back and forth, and eventually, like this one is just about there, right over the edge of my nail, eventually it's just going to be done and slide off, okay? So this is after 10 days of wear, and you can see there's no damage. Now sometimes you'll have a little bit more of that, it's kind of sticky from the adhesive on there, And you can either, you know, take some more of your remover and it'll wipe right off, or if you have your alcohol wipe that I gave you, you can use that and that will take that adhesive off really easily as well. So anyhow, if you haven't gotten your sample yet, I hope you'll get it soon. And if you have any questions at all, please, I hope you'll feel free to reach out to me and let me help you, okay? I want you to have a good experience. So thank you again. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.